We're back, Personal Health Care Reform Talk Show on Pegasus Net Waves, taking your health to a higher level. And today, awesome show today. It's October. This is also the beginning of one show every week. So that's right, every week, brand new show instead of just doing 2 shows a month. So tons of brand new content coming your way. So we're going to kick that off with October is Cancer Awareness Month. If you didn't know that, well, now you're aware. And we're going to start that with St. Baldricks, because I've been doing stuff with them for the past 5 years now, which is why I have the lovely long locks that everybody loves to talk about and come over and touch and run their fingers through and everything else. Like, I'm not sitting there. I am, people. Come on. So I have Miss Kathleen Ruddy with she's the CEO of St. Baldricks on the show today. That's right, I have the CEO of St. Baldricks. So listen in for that. If you don't know, St. Baldricks is all about ending children's cancer. Tune into the rest of the show for that. But, of course, we have the opening piece of the show, so go check out ClintFuquay.com. The 4 steps to better health on there. We've moved them up on the page, easier to access. Take a look at it. Tell me what you think. All kinds of brand new stuff coming to the website the rest of this year as well, as I get more sponsors coming on for the show and all that great stuff. So we have that. Clint's programs as well. My top 4 things. Notice everything's in force. My top 4 things for your health on Clint's programs. I'm checking everything on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Pinterest, Google+, LinkedIn. That's all on ClintFuquay.com. The YouTube channel's on there for tons of video content. Spreaker for all the old shows. This is show number 69, so I got lots of shows on there. SoundCloud as well for the old shows. Idea Fit for all my old stuff. Articles, of course, I've done some art. I've been a featured expert for men's fitness. I'll be in there again several more times next year, 2017. Medical Daily, you'll see me featured in there a lot more as well. Rocks Digital, of course, I do some blogging for them. I'm going to do a lot more blogging because now Google has picked them up as one of their official blogs, which is kind of cool, which is why I'm going to be doing a lot more blogging for them. So there's that. Offbeat Business Magazine, we have this month for October, I have a double header because it's baseball season, okay? So I have a double header. I have 2 articles in there that you really need to read. One of them is specifically about cancer, okay? If it doesn't bring a tear to your eye, you don't have a heart. So there's that. And then Living the Dream Magazine, I'll get back to doing some writing for them. The hashtags, of course, this year, hashtag LiveLean 2016 and hashtag Make America Healthy Again, because, well, that's the goal, isn't it? So there's that. All my health partners currently right now, MedCall Pro. Go check out medcallpro.com. Brand new website. They've got it launched. It's up. It's functional. I'll have Nicholas Tarazi on here to talk about what they do in November. Awesome, incredibly awesome group. Of course, I've talked about it in the past. He's been on the show in the past, too. Yeah, awesome thing there. You call in, you get an ear doctor on the phone right there, talking you through everything, helping out with medical billing. It's phenomenal service. Ultra Labs, so you need lab tests done, you don't have insurance, or you want to save a lot of money on it, because, well, let's face it, until you get up to $6,000, insurance ain't covering jack, is it? So go to Ultra Labs, go over there. They've got every test on the market. You set your time and date to go in, get your blood drawn. They send all the results back to you. They'll have a medical professional call you on the phone if there's anything major going on. You can take that, bring it to your doctor. It puts health back in your hands, okay? That's why I love it. And it's really, really, really inexpensive. It's 20 to 80% off all medical testing, okay? Incredible service. Everlywell, if you don't want to go anywhere, Everlywell has you covered, at least for 3 tests right now. They'll send it to you at your home. It's a quick little pinprick. You send it in. I'm sure you've heard 23andMe. It's the same type of service, okay? Everything comes directly to you. You send it back to them. They send all the results back to you. Beautifully done results. They'll call you on the phone as well if there's a major medical issue going on with you. And, of course, you can transfer that over to your doctor. Once again, putting your health back in your hands so you control it. Awesome service. And I'll have Julia Cheek on the show in November as well to talk about their services. Icon Meals. It's school time. Kids are in school. You got tons of things going on. You got all the fall plans. Do you want to cook? Probably not unless you're, a wannabe chef like myself who loves to cook. Otherwise, Icon Meals has you covered. They take care of all your meals. Check them out. 10% through me, or 10% off through me for using code CBFIT with them. And they custom They custom make your meals. Okay, Thrive Market. If you're a wannabe chef like myself, go and Thrive Market. They got all your stuff, all your organic stuff, all your gluten-free stuff, non-GMO stuff. It's all there. Point and click, easy access. You're not having to roam through the stores looking for stuff. It's all there. Easy access. And they give away a lot of free stuff too. They've given away free avocado mayo. They've given away tons of chocolate stuff and peanut butter, almond butter, and snack bars. And I mean, it's a great service. So check them out. Kinesi's coming on later on in the year. We're going to talk about all the brand new line of clothing from them. Zero Water. Ta-da! My new one. I'm their newest fitness ambassador for the U.S. For Zero Water. Check them out because there's all kinds of weird stuff going on. And also, starting this month, because they're sending me all kinds of free stuff, guess what? That means you're getting free stuff. So starting later on, if you haven't connected with me on Facebook, connect with me on Facebook because I'm going to start doing some contests and giveaways for Zero Water. So you heard it here. Free stuff for Zero Water. Even if you got one of those Brita filters, we got stuff for you. Because, well, those are trash. Anyway, so there's that Ideal Life. Of course, I've got all brand new Ideal Life updates on the website. It's 3 steps to health, morning, noon, and nighttime. We've made it very, very, very simple. Ideal Life experience. Check it out. Go in there. Do your assessment. For the love of God, man, go on there. Do your. If you're having allergy issues right now, I know you are. I hear you hacking and sneezing and coughing. Okay, go on there. Do your assessment. Do yourself a favor. And then, of course, I've got all my nonprofits. So, ADA North Texas, Hunger Stops, 22 Kill, St. Baldricks, which, of course, is on the show today. Events coming up. October 18th, Divots for Diabetes. If you want to know more about that, I'm going to be posting a whole lot more about that online. November 5th, of course, we have the Step Out Walk. If you listened to the last show, you know all about that one. And we would love to see you out there as a walker. And we have November 10th, the Feast of Sharing with HEB and Hunger Stops at Fair Park. Definitely come out there, help feed a lot of people around North Texas. And Health and News Hot List. Go to my Facebook page or go to the show Facebook page. You're going to see all these on there and a lot of other stories. So we're going to run through these very, very quickly. They're all on there. Check them out. Sweet taters for toast. That's right. Sweet taters for toast. This is the new toast. Then slice it, pop it in there, toast it, throw some cinnamon on. Great stuff. And they're tasty. It's fall, man. So you got that. Brand new hybrid insulin pump is approved by the FDA. So if you're type 1 diabetic, definitely look that one up. That's a big story from the ADA. Vitamin D for asthma issues. Candida causes Crohn's. If you didn't know that, now you know that. I've known that for years, so have a lot of us. Probiotics for better mood. It's fall, okay? You're going to get moody, get your probiotics. Plus, straight for health. Mushrooms for immune system. Beware all the fake pumpkin stuff because there's tons of it out there. I'm talking to you, Starbucks. Exercise is a must after a stroke. A heart attack automatically means you're going to have a stroke in the future if you survive the heart attack. And smoking affects your DNA for 30 years after you quit. What does that mean? That means if you smoke, your kids have those same genetic defects that you just created. Just so you know. So there's that. Come back, listen in. We've got Kathleen Ruddy on the show, CEO of St. Baldricks. It's going to be an awesome, awesome show. Come back. This month is all about cancer prevention.
Hi, my name is Allison Topperwine, founder of LitWithin.com. LitWithin was developed to be a social media website free from hate, bullying, altogether negativity. It's a place for positivity and to be lit within. I would love for you to come join me and learn more about my journey through Parkinson's, as well as to go on APDA's website. That's American Parkinson's Disease Association's website. Join them as well as donate. Donate to a wonderful cause to help establish Parkinson's research and as well as give us some support for those of us dealing with Parkinson's.
This is Jeff Lazarus, author of Dogtology, Live, Bark, Believe. Dogtology is about man's fanatical devotion to dog, about the belief in dog, arguably one of the most popular beliefs on earth. Dogtology is available right now on Amazon.com. Barnes & Noble Select Stores and BarnesandNoble.com, Books A Million, independent bookstores, and several airports around the country.
All right, we were back. Personal Health Care Reform Talk Show on Pegasus Netwaves, taking your health to a higher level. And this month, if you did not know, October is Cancer Awareness Month, and now you are aware. I've been involved with St. Baldricks now for 5 years, coming up on year number 6. And so today, we have the CEO, Ms. Kathleen Ruddy, is on with us today, which is absolutely fantastic. So, Kathleen, thank you for coming on the show.
Clint, thank you so much for having me. I'm thrilled to be with you.
Oh, yeah, thrilled to have you on with us. Let's start off with a few things about for St. Baldricks and give everybody some background on this group and this organization. Because usually when I bring it up, people they're oblivious. They're like, I've never heard of it. What is it? And everything else. I'm like, man, I've been getting my head shaved for like 4 years now. Have you not seen the carnage? It's the loss of my lovely locks. So let's give everybody some background about what is St. Baldricks. When did it start? Why did it start? Some of the background on it, and then
sure.
Why you got involved or when you got involved.
Okay. Well, first, the St. Baldricks Foundation is a volunteer-powered charity, and we all work together, staff and volunteers, and over 75,000 volunteers throughout the country, to fund the most promising childhood cancer research, to not only help children survive cancer, but to make sure that survivors are able to live long and healthy lives. So the bulk of research funding in this country comes from the federal government, but less than 4% of the federal budget, the federal cancer budget, goes to pediatric cancers, and there's very little investment from other sources. So the St. Baldricks Foundation is the next largest funder, and that's only because of the efforts of volunteers and donors who give so generously. The way we do it is through our signature head shaving events, where volunteers, whom we call shavees, boldly shave their heads bald in solidarity with kids with cancer and get their friends to sponsor them. And all of those funds raised are used very carefully to make sure we're funding the very best research wherever it takes place. We do other types of fundraisers too, as most charities do, but that head shaving event is our signature event. And Clint, I want to thank you so much for being such a faithful volunteer and shavee for us.
Oh yeah, well it's fun. It's a breath of fresh air, especially the first time you do it and you walk out there and the air actually hits your head. it's eye opening, especially in Dallas, because every year I've done it, it has rained. Every year, the night we do it, there's rain in the air, which is always even more fun. So a little bit about on the background. How long has St. Baldricks been around?
So the first event happened in the year 2000 on St. Patrick's Day, and that's how we got our name. St. Patrick's Day became St. Baldricks Day because the shavees were shaving their heads bald. And it kind of stuck, and they had a goal of raising $17,000 at that first event, and they raised $104,000, so they realized, wait, hey, maybe we're onto something good here. And so since that time, we have been able to fund over $200 million in life-saving childhood cancer research. And it's been really a incredible movement to be part of. I think many people who've been exposed to the cause come away more committed than ever. People who do it because it sounds like a good thing to do and a good cause end up being very committed to the kids and just so transformed by the experience. And volunteers tell me every day, this is the best thing I've ever done to help a charity. So we're and when it's a child who needs you and whose life depends upon the efforts of volunteers, it feels pretty good to do your part.
Very good. Speaking of doing your part, when did you get involved? How long have you been involved with St. Baldricks now?
So I got involved in early 2001, and it was just before the second event happened, and there was discussion at that time do you think we could take this thing national? And I didn't see any reason why we couldn't. And by the next year, we were not only national, but we were international. We had all of one event abroad at that time. But since then, we've been in 30 different countries. And the impact of our research is certainly felt the world over. And we're even making programs available in developing countries now so that kids with cancer everywhere are getting a better opportunity at a future, a healthy future. So we're really proud of that. And I got involved because I'd lost a number of people in my life to cancer, and both my parents are cancer survivors, so the cause of cancer had always resonated with me. But Clint, growing up, I had always wanted to be a pediatrician. And then I encountered high school chemistry, and I realized that really wasn't in my future because I wasn't so good at the science, but I realized I could talk to people and tell a story and help them understand how they could make an impact. And so I pursued a fundraising career and have been privileged to be able to marry all those interests and passions together.
Well, all right, and there you go. So yeah, that is phenomenal. It's fantastic. Well, that goes to show everybody can take a part. Even if you're not one of the scientists, one of the people doing in the medical industry, you can always help out. I did want to look at one thing with you, because this is one thing that I love about the organization is the way it's structured as far as the funding and usage of funds, because that is a big issue. There's a lot of nonprofits that have been getting beat up over how they use their funds. Whenever funds come in, how much is going to the cause, how much is going to the people that run the thing, and all that stuff. And so I know y'all are pretty much pretty close to 90-10, which is about 90% is going out to the research and everything else. And so I wanted to let you talk about that for a little bit, and how transparent y'all are with showing where all the funds go out to. And then after the shaving events, during the summer and fall, y'all have updates on all the research that's happening, which are funding, where everything's going to, and all the updates on those. So if you could expand on that and the funding side of it, kind of how much came in last year, how much that went out to research and everything else, because if you could elaborate on what y'all do and how y'all show that, so people know whenever they do donate, what their funds are going towards.
I'm happy to do that, Clint. I think when we started the foundation, we ascribed this into our DNA because we didn't want to have to require people who are considering supporting us to have to search for information. So we do make everything available on our website. And it might help your audience to just know how we go about raising money so that they understand the model. Because I think it's important for people to know that not every charities are the same. Not every charity is the same, I should say. And everybody's model is different, just like companies have different business models. So ours, here at the St. Baldricks Foundation, is to recruit volunteers and then assess their skill sets and help them learn the things that they don't know about running events for charity and raising money and promoting and pitching sponsors and so forth. And we help provide those skills to them, and then we empower the volunteers to go out and they become the fundraisers in their communities. So for us, we plan and get all of the promotional materials ready and everything that a volunteer is going to need to be successful in the event. And if we've done our jobs right and we've promoted correctly and so forth, then the volunteers come, get involved, we help and coach them, and then they go out and raise lots of money, which then funds research. So this last year, of every dollar we raised, 74% of the funds went to research and advocacy for a cure, and 22% went to fundraising. Fundraising costs include our phones, postage, the T-shirts that we give a shavee as a thank you when they shave, office space, our employees, etc. And then 4% goes to administration. And that's things like accounting and banking to make sure we handle all the funds right, and human resources and things like that. So we're pretty lean in terms of nonprofits, and in this model, when I started my career in fundraising, I was taught that if you have an event model that yields 51% or more for the cause, then you're doing really well. So we're at 74% right now, and of course we're aiming to improve that all the time.
Very good. Yeah, the shirts are awesome. I'm wearing one of the shirts right now, by the way, just to get me in the spirit of the show. And also, I do a video video promo for each show too, so that way it goes out there. I love this is one thing that I absolutely love, is you actually send out a full email portfolio of the research that's being funded. Here's the research, here's who it's going out to. So I had one question on that, is how do you choose which research to fund each year?
Well, that is the trickiest and most important thing we do all year in terms of making sure that we're funding the very best. And your question's a very astute one. So we have a number of different grant categories. We have 10 or 11 categories now, and we fund everything from the idea that a scientist gets in a lab and tests, in a typical lab environment, all the way up to clinical trials where you actually have an experimental therapy that you're actually giving to a patient, and everything you can imagine in between. In addition, we also are training the next generation of pediatric oncologists. When we started the foundation in 2005, we learned that within 10 years there would be a shortage of pediatric oncologists to treat kids and develop better cures and therapies for kids in this country, because there was such a brain drain and so little money available for research that they would go into careers where there was funding for their research. And so we endeavored to make sure that there was never going to be a shortage, and also that we were funding literally every stage of research and all the things that were needed to get us over the next scientific hurdle, if you will. So what happens is we publicize to the whole research community that the grants are open. They apply. They work. These are very rigorous applications. They require a lot of thought. It requires detailed budgets. And everything about their proposal then is assigned to 3 different reviewers, 3 people who are expert in what this grant is proposing to do. And they review the grant. And if even one of them disagrees with the other 2, then as to whether it's good, bad, or mediocre, that discussion then gets elevated to a committee of experts who then all receive a presentation from all 3 of the reviewers, and then they all ask questions and they dive in to figure out what do we believe about this grant proposal, and does it merit support from the foundation. And then they all vote, and they do that anonymously and electronically, so there's no quote-unquote hard feelings. And then the results are then disclosed to the foundation. At the end of the day, this is done hundreds of times, over hundreds of grant applications every year. And at the end of that review process, all of those scores, if you will, are given to our board of directors. And our board is comprised mostly of lay people. And the chair of our scientific advisory committee sits on our board and is able to help us as lay people interpret scientific principles so that we are making sure we're understanding and applying them correctly. But what our board does then, unfortunately, Clint, there is always, well, fortunately or unfortunately, as you choose to see it, there are always more approved grants, or scientifically approved, than we have money to fund. Mm-hmm. And that's where it becomes really hard, because then we have to go back to our principals and say, okay, what are the needs that the scientific community has told us are most important at this time? Where are the barriers that are holding up progress to potentially many types of research? And does this grant slate give us the opportunity to overcome those? And so we apply those priorities, and that's how we then decide, do we go further down the list of fellows or scholars or research grants or consortia grants, whatever it may be? What are the right ones to study? Have we done a lot of research in this particular disease, and therefore maybe we should fund this other proposal where it's a more rare cancer and therefore there's less opportunities to help those kids? So we go through all of those questions at every grant review cycle, and it's very difficult. And of course, we all know kids with all of these diseases, and so it's heartbreaking because it's very difficult to separate your love for these kids from the business decision you have to make, and yet that's what we hold each other accountable to do every single time. So at the end of the day, the funds that are awarded and to the to the grants selected, you can be sure they're the very top of the research opportunities out there, but they're also addressing the most important needs in research. And it's so important, and it's a wonderful partnership that we have with the scientific community, that we can give the assurance to our volunteers and donors that their money is going there, because we truly believe, and we've seen it, that there's no one hospital, no one researcher, no matter how talented, they don't have a monopoly on the best ideas. And we want to make sure that we're not just funding the institutions that are really well known or have a great tradition of philanthropy and philanthropic support. We want to make sure that wherever those great ideas are hiding, that person gets that opportunity to prove that and make that difference for those kids' lives.
That is fantastic. We just have a couple minutes here, so I wanted to go, if you have any of some of the top successes that y'all have had as far as the research that's been funded, and then how and when people can get involved.
Probably the biggest claim to fame, if you will, is that we helped get approval of a new drug for pediatric cancer called Unituxin, and it's an immunotherapy treatment, and it was the result of research spearheaded by St. Baldricks researcher Dr. Alice Yu in San Diego. Why this is so important, to give you a little bit of a comparison, there were 13 new drugs for adult cancers approved in 2015. But there have only been 3 new drugs in the last 20 years for pediatric cancers. So it shows the disparity in the level of work being done to help kids. It shows the lack of funding available to help kids and so forth. So that far and away is our biggest advancement. But we've helped raise cure rates in several cancers. We've made clinical trials. We've helped accelerate clinical trials for some of the most rare and hard-to-treat cancers. And like I said, we've been funding the research to get young investigators into the field so that they can become the superstars of tomorrow, and we will have sufficient numbers of pediatric oncologists to treat our kids and save their lives. And your audience, we would welcome their support. Our website provides lots of information. The URL is stbaldricks.org, stbaldricks.org, and our toll-free number is 888-899-BALD.
All right, fantastic. And, of course, there's the shaving events. Anybody out there, if you want to get involved here in Dallas, we have the event that I've been involved with for the past 5 years in Addison. It's the official Addison St. Baldricks event, so come out for that. And, of course, there's tons all over Dallas. You can start your own through stbaldricks.org. I want to thank you for coming on, enlightening everybody.
Well, growing up, I think all of us, heard our parents' aspirations for us, and often one of those things was, my son or daughter is going to grow up and cure cancer one day. And at St. Baldricks, whatever profession you're in and whatever skills you have to apply, literally every volunteer and donor is helping to cure cancer, and we welcome the support of all who want to help kids survive and thrive and get the futures they deserve. We believe kids are gold and that they deserve to be treated as such, and we're doing all we can to make sure that they are, and we thank you for your generous support.
Thanks for coming on. For everybody else out there, tune in next week. I actually have the American Cancer Society on for the next show. So, like I said, this is a whole month of talking about cancer. So, thank you for coming on. Everybody else, check out stbaldricks.org, and see you next week.